Welcome to my very first video about how I am going to create a massive and amazing site building, helping people identify the best travel gear. So how am I going to do that? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is figure out what I should name the site, because that's important. So what are people looking for? So the first thing I've done is gone here and clicked on, I'm in SpyFu, and I'm looking at everybody who ranks, has a ranking history for this page, which is for this keyword, which is travel gear. So what I'm going to do is click on all these sites who are ranking for travel gear and do a SpyFu search on them. And the goal here is to find out what keyword people are really looking for. So I'm going to pull all of this information. What travel gear is the travel gear that is most searched for? Now, again, I have no idea about whether I'm doing this right. But, you know, you have to start somewhere. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to each of these and pulling down their most valuable keywords. And then I'm going to export them using this nifty export feature. And then go to the next one and do the same. So what I'm going to end up with is a massive, massive grid of keywords. So let me go do that so you don't have to sit here and watch me pull down keyword set after keyword set, because hopefully, if I'm lucky, you'll be watching me do a lot of stuff and you might get bored. So, from Bali, Indonesia, this is Kat with the very first video on how we are going to create a site, a travel site that will pay for our travel. So basically, I'm going through all these other travel accessory stores, all these other stores that sell things similar to what I want to sell, and looking at what keywords they are using. And I have no idea whether SpyFu is the right tool to use this for, but SpyFu just happens to be the tool that's open on my machine right now, so that's what I'm going to use. All right, so now I have opened a Google Sheet in Google Docs, and I am going to import all of those spreadsheets. So I'm going to go to File, Import, and then upload that first spreadsheet. Or I guess I'll import the last spreadsheet. And then it'll ask me what I want to do. I want to replace the current sheet. And then I'm going to import the next one and append that to this, because really my goal is to have a big old list of keywords. What are all the keywords that everybody is using? So that's what I'm going to end up with, is one big old list of keywords. All right, so now I have a big old list of keywords. Now, in order to play with this data in a fun and easy way, I'm going to turn on a filter, and I am going to filter by maximum organic clicks. Now, maybe I'll filter by this. How many searches? So, because I added all this other data, I'm going to delete it. And now we can start seeing what is floating to the top. And what is floating to the top for me is traveling bags and travel bags and all this stuff about travel bags. And it's kind of interesting because I've never really considered the keyword travel bags. But it looks like a lot of people are looking for it. And it has a bunch, 165,000 searches a month. If I could get a chunk of that, that wouldn't be too bad. If we look at the value per month, let's see, here's a whole bunch of traveling bags. I'm not sure what value per month really means, but I think this is assuming these URL positions, and the SEO difficulty isn't extreme. So I'm thinking that looks interesting. Definitely other things that we can look at, but it seems like a lot of the travel gear stuff, is kind of focused around bags. Like, these are the things that people are searching for most around this. And this is what this tool is saying, and hopefully this tool is right. Now, I did actually go look this up in Google, because I was like, travel bags. What a weird phrase. Why would anybody ever search for that? So here I am in Google Keyword Planner going, this is a weird keyword. Why would anybody ever search for it? But look, lo and behold, between 100,000 and 1 million people search for this keyword, this word every day. And it's not actually, it says the competition is high, but it's not as high as it could be. It's not as high as, for example, luggage. So now I'm going to trundle that over to instant domain search and look at some travel bag domains. And I actually am looking at travel bag tips, and I like it because it's short, and because travel bag tips is something that it doesn't say like reviews, it doesn't sound like weird on one hand, and on the other hand, it could mean anything. Like, I could talk about, it probably has to do with travel, it might have to do with travel bags, but it could also be me talking about my travels through Asia. You don't kind of really know what it's talking about, but it's probably, hopefully, interesting. So I'm going over to Bluehost and buying it, and that's kind of how far I've gotten. But I've made a decision, which is the first step, is to somehow make a decision, buy a domain name, and make a commitment. Because until you make a commitment, until you buy that domain name, one domain name, you should see how many. I have hundreds of domain names. So I do spin around at times, but buy a domain name and make a commitment and go for it. So that's my first experience, and I'll show you whether I go for it or not. You can watch me do this.